What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Game Chat. It is me. It is Brunner. Ali is not able to join us today. That is okay. Today is going to be a very, very debatable episode. I'm sure we're going to be going back and forth. Top 10 shows of all time is what we're doing today. If you agree with us, let us know. Always also follow along with us, as we go down the list here. Just one thing I want to say. We're just doing strictly TV shows, not the TV shows that not TV shows that have like streaming. I don't know, not streaming services exactly. Like I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. We're doing TV shows, limited series. There we go, limited series. I don't think none of us have limited series here. So if you call us out, because I remember I was talking to a coworker and he's like, "Oh, you gotta call limited series." No, we're just doing shows. These are shows, at least for me, that I could go back and rewatch. Brunner?
Yeah, I would say I don't know what limited series. Like I could see the 1 to 3 episode limited series. Maybe not counting or 1 to 2, like our special limited series. But no, we're just
I think they're talking about like
doing
documentaries.
shows.
Let me see.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't count. I'd say like that would be in its own category. But we're doing purely television shows.
Purely television.
Right. And we're gonna be doing this. So, how it's gonna go is we're gonna say, our number, or or show at that number, and then maybe tell a story, some significance of that show if we have any special memories. But tell us in the comments, your favorite shows. Tell us, if like you're surprised by one of our picks, but or maybe if one of our picks don't even count. But I think we should get into it.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go ahead and get into it. I want to get into it by honoring my number 11, which I know we're doing top 10, but honorable mention that almost made the list. I'm about to go ahead and put 3 shows, and that's Simpsons, Parks and Rec, and Sopranos. Those were the 3 that didn't make the list, but I could go back and rewatch them anytime. These are top 10 now. These are the ones I'll debate about. Okay, so number 10, and my cat looks like one of these characters from this show, Malcolm in the Middle. Classic show, great cast. If you look back at it now, great acting. Every episode will make you laugh. Reese was the man. You grow up wanting to be Malcolm, but you realize like, it's funny, dude. Hal is the best. Bryan Cranston really got his step there. And other things too, but he really kills in anything he does in that show when he freaks out. My favorite episode's the one where they go to that pizza place, but they get kicked out, and then they're trying to like sneak pizza in. Love that episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I was gonna say yeah, and then Malcolm takes his girlfriend on a date there, and they're running a news story, and then so he sees a news camera, and then he tries to duck down, and then like how Reese and Dewey, they're like sneaking pizza behind Lois's back.
Yeah.
Because Lois is a very strong woman. She's like, no, we can no longer eat there. But they're like so addicted to it. And then they're like, okay, Reese, it's gonna take you 18 minutes to bike there. And then your mom's gonna be gone for 30 minutes.
And then when they eat the pizza, and then like they're like, I brought pizza, and then they try to eat it when they're super full. Oh my god, that part always sends me, dude. Classic. That's another movie, another show I should probably get a DVD too. But Malcolm in the Middle, my cat looks like Dewey. I swear, dude. My cat looks like Dewey, like his face. I just get Dewey vibes. Great show. That's my number 10.
Yeah, very good show. I think Bryan Cranston, he was on Conan's podcast, and he was talking about how he developed Hal, which I mean Bryan Cranston like knocks out of the park with his performance with Hal. How he's like, he can be like very serious, but he also is like gets very scared and nervous. And he said that when they did the pilot, they really didn't have any background to how he should do Hal.
Everything else was cast. The entire family was already cast, and they couldn't find the dad. In the pilot episode, I think I have 3 or 4 lines, and that's it.
So I started to think what would be a complementary characteristic for Hal would be perhaps the opposite of her. What is she lacking? Oh, she's lacking subtlety, softness, sweetness, quiet. She's fearless.
So, credits to Bryan Cranston. My only complaint with Malcolm in the Middle, but I did like how, like, we all knew, like, day one Malcolm was like the prodigy. He was like the gifted smart kid.
Yeah.
But I did like how, like, then Dewey, he became like a music prodigy. How, like, he can play things by ear, and then, like, he made an organ, out of, like,
Right.
garage parts. And then, like, Reese, he becomes like a cooking prodigy. Like, he's like so good,
Yeah.
at being a chef. So, like, they each have their own things. But I feel like they kind of gave up on
Yep.
Reese at the end.
hmm Definitely. I was about to say
Like, they're
that.
like, oh yeah, he's a good cook, but like, and then so I'm like, oh, is he gonna, like, maybe, like, steal money from his parents, open a restaurant, what I mean, like an illegal underground restaurant or something like that. But no, they just kind of gave up on him. Same thing with Dewey. I thought, like, Dewey was be like, oh yeah, he's gonna become a concert pianist or something.
No, yeah,
But
I'm with you there. I was about to say, well, my other favorite episode is when he cooks Thanksgiving dinner, and
yeah,
then they just trash on it on the end. Like that actually hurt me, dude. Like he tried. No, yeah, I definitely agree. 'Cause he becomes a janitor in the end. It's just stupid. Like they should have at least sent him to culinary school or something, And I know they did those
yeah,
series when he ran off and joined the military, but don't give me that. Like anyway, yeah, that's my number 10. I definitely agree on that. And then Malcolm, that performance though by I don't know her name, Lois though, the Malcolm is
yeah.
president. You know what I'm saying?
She's great.
Yeah, she's great. That scene, the Malcolm to become president, that scene is like she kills it in that scene. That's my number 10 though.
Sure. Honorable mention, Avatar: Last Airbender. I think it was a good show, but, like, it didn't make it on my list, unfortunately. Also honorable mention, it could be on my list, but for right now, it's still going on right now, so maybe it has time to be bad. But The Boys, because I just love Anthony Starr's performance as Homelander. When Mookie comes out in Mortal Kombat, I'm gonna go full Duffy
Yeah,
on him.
I believe it.
But
I believe it.
and then I've been watching Gen V as well. Also, a new show coming out, very good. But my number 10 is gonna be The Simpsons, and I had to put it on here. And it could have been, further, down on my list, but I'm sorry, further up or however it is. But I've like it's been going on for like 30 plus
Yep.
years, and I would say maybe the first 10 are good, but like they're so good. Like the episodes, how they could like make Homer stupid or make Bart stupid, but still have like some like really good heartfelt episodes, like the episode where Homer runs into his mom again, who had
That was a
abandoned
good
him.
one. Heartbreaking.
And then another one, a very sad one, and it's one of my favorites. And it was like a flashback episode, when Maggie was born, how he wanted to quit the power plant and then do something, but then, Marge told him that he was pregnant, so he then has to go back and then beg Mr. Burns for a job. And then he puts up that sign. He's like, "Remember, don't forget, you're here forever." And then he puts pictures of Maggie to say, "Do it for her." Like such a
That's a
good
good one.
episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I definitely
go
agree.
ahead.
There is some heartfelt episodes I can think of Simpsons. And it's everywhere. It's a family thing. I was just telling Brunner about this, and I'm sure other people could agree with me. They had a Christmas decoration of Homer. You press it, he would dance. You got to put those up there. There's classic episodes. I remember the episode they talk about death. Really, is when I first time experienced it as a kid. Is when Ned's wife dies. Never really,
Yeah.
and then it was permanent too, because I think the actor left, so they killed her off. But great show, fucking hilarious too. One of my favorite, like, there's a lot of episodes I could quote, but one scene I look back at is when like they're cleaning out the garage, and they find this robot that Homer was building. And he's like, "Master, you found me," and he throws it out. He just throws it out, and the fucking robot looks back at him like, "What the hell?" That one sends me. You can always put Simpsons on, and it would make me laugh. Great fucking characters you quote every day, and yeah, no, good fucking 10.
Yeah. So many like good side characters too. Like Lionel Hutz is such a good character as well. Or like my favorite gag is when Homer skips church and then his house catches fire, and so Ned throws a mattress out on the front yard, and he throws Homer, and the Homer lands on it and then jumps back into the burning house.
Oh my god, yeah, that one a lot of
Yeah,
classic moments.
such a good show, such an amazing show.
Side of the Little
But
Helper, good names. I named
yeah,
one of my
Seinfeld.
dogs Millhouse once because of that show. So good show, yeah. Kind
Yeah,
of love
good
it.
show. All right, number 9.
Okay, so my number 9. Speaking of animated shows, and it just jumps right into it too. Family Guy. Family Guy fucking makes me laugh. I could say the same thing. Maybe the first 2 seasons you won't enjoy, but Seth MacFarlane, for getting canceled like 3 times to coming up now, he built it pretty good. Family. Let's face it, he was trying to be The Simpsons, and he even says it himself a lot. So I'm not saying it's better than Simpsons, but only because as an adult now I watch Family Guy more and I can relate to it more sometimes with work. Again, that's another show with all the side characters are fucking bangers. Rest in peace, Adam West. And then bringing in what's his name, Mayor, like Cowboy West. Funny as hell when Brian died. The outrage was fucking hilarious. He had the guy from The Sopranos come in and try to replace him, and we're like, nope. And it was just, there's a lot of things that go from there. The Thanksgiving episodes are my favorite. Star Wars, when they make fun of Star Wars. You got Cleveland Show out of that. You can even put American Dad up there, but I'm barely getting into it, so I'm not even going to include this in my list. Family Guy is my thing. I want them to come in. I want them to come out in Fortnite so bad. So fucking bad, man. There's Futurama, there's Rick and Morty. Why not Family Guy? I'm going to leave it at that. Number 9, Family Guy.
Yeah, I think for us, for our generation, because like the peak of The Simpsons was in like mid 90s to like 2000s, where like Family Guy was like late 2000s to 2010s. It was good, which is what we grew up with. So yeah, Family Guy is very good. Yeah, probably like more like work joke, like better working class, where Simpsons was a more family dynamic.
Yeah, for sure.
But like Family Guy wasn't afraid to go all out. I think personally I like American Dad better than Family Guy. I think it's very good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Because I feel like some of the Family Guys like cutaways became like too much, you know what I mean? Like the whole Conway Twitty I was like, why?
That took too long. I remember I skipped it as a kid too.
Anyway, so that's Anthony's number 9. Because still, Family Guy's very good. Love Seth MacFarlane. Number 9 is, I'm gonna have to say, it's an anime, probably the only anime on this list. But it's gonna be JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And for those who don't know, who've seen the last, go check out our previous episode. But I love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Such a great manga. I started watching the anime like I think like maybe 2019. Probably 2019, 2020. I think maybe 2020 from pandemic, because I'm like, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll get into it. And then I fell in love with the series, started watching the anime. So good. I think there's like 6 parts of the anime has been released of the 9 ongoing publishing. And I think they're all good. I think they're equally as good. Like if I were to rewatch them, I'm not like, oh, I'm going to skip that part. I'm like, no, it's like all of them are good. And, a lot of things with anime is that like, because, the publishing's ongoing, is like they'll make filler episodes and like episodes not canon, just so it buys the author some time. But since it took a long time for it to be put into an anime series, like I think the anime started when like part 6 was ongoing. So like season 1 came out, the first part 1 and 2. Like they're already in season 6, so they just went straight to the point, which I absolutely love. And also, I got added onto the collection is I got a SNES cartridge of JoJo's Bizarre
Wow.
Adventure. See, and these were only came out in Japan. No English versions were made. Even on the side, it says Super Famicom on it. I'm just gonna show you inside quickly. See, here's the game manual.
Wow.
I'll take this out, as well as the actual cartridge itself.
Damn, sealed too.
Sealed. So, love JoJo. Had to put it on the list because of how obsessed I am with it. So, I used to be into Dragon Ball and Naruto, but kind of grew up and I'm like, nah. I'm like, this ain't it. Even though I've met the voice actors for Goku and Vegeta, I'm like,
That's crazy.
I think JoJo's where it's at.
Who's your favorite character that you want to meet, like the voice actor in JoJo?
I usually I watch the Japanese version with English subtitles, but the guy who plays Jotaro from Part 3 and Part 6, and he was because Jotaro was there 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I would love to meet that guy. I think it's Daisuke Ono is his name, but shout out to him. But I would love to meet him.
Nice. Oh yeah, he's always been a big fan. Sorry, my fucking cat's there. He's always been a big fan. Like, scared the shit out of me too. So I knew that was gonna be on the list. I was probably the only show besides like this other show I don't want to spoil. I knew it was gonna be on the list. So, Brunner's number 9, JoJo Bizarre Adventure, great anime. It's been there for a while too. All right, number 8. Here we go. This is where all the haters come out and say basic. Give me The Office. Okay. Here's one thing. I'm to the point where I know everybody says, oh, when Michael leaves, I stop watching. I'm to the point where I'm like Brunner, where it's like, you know what? Let's just push on through and then keep watching. It's not that bad. When Clark comes out, I think Clark is one of the best people in like season 9. He's fucking hilarious. After the season is good, that's one of the shows I can put on the background and I'll be okay. Especially working at office and kind of like it. I don't know, man. I could just go back to the show and always watch it. The only reason why I have it so high is because I quote it a lot and just how frequently I watch it. And I think I'm rewatching it again right now, barely on season 2. And this is like has to be like my 15th time watching it, dude. Yeah. It's the only show I have on DVD too. So that's that. Andy, I don't know. One thing I want to say, I don't like when Jim is trying to start his own business and then Pam is being a real bitch about it. It's like, he support you through your fucking shitty art career. The best thing you can do is support him. And I think that's one thing that the writers got wrong after that. But other than that, I'm good. They ruined Andy too, so they kind of just gave up in the end. You can kind of tell. I keep saying a lot. I'm sorry, but that's it. That's all I gotta say about The Office. Great show. I'm still watching it now, so it's up there. It's up there.
Yeah. All right, my number 8, and this is the one that Anthony probably said he knew it was on, because if you've seen, I've also mentioned it on episode. Smallville.
Oh,
Smallville was a show that aired in 2001. I think late 2001, or no, it was 2002. I think because I knew it was, they shot it in 2001. But it's a show about Superman, a young Clark Kent, where he's not actually Superman, where he grows up to be Superman. So it's his life on Smallville, and it's such a good show. Because one factor is it got the right people at the right time. I think the guy Tom Welling who plays Clark, I think he's perfect. I think his parents, John Schneider and Annette O'Toole, play Martha and Jonathan. I think they were perfect. They're like so good actors. I think the actor who plays Lex, Michael Rosenbaum, who also plays Wally West on Justice League animated, shout out. But such a good Lex. I think he's better than the actual than the Lex from the movie, the Superman movie. I think 100 times better than Jesse Eisenberg Lex.
you
No,
think so?
no shade at Jesse Eisenberg, but like you're not Lex. I'm sorry. Like you can be the Zuck, but you can't be Lex. I'm sorry.
Dude, he was like a Joker wannabe. I don't know. That's what I got of it.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
Right.
Who's that? Who's the Lex Luthor from the Crisis on Infinite Earth? John Sider. Is that the one you're talking about?
No, I don't watch Crisis on Infinite Earth, but I think the show is so good. The only downfall is that is that at the time, like how network TV was, um, it was that like each season had to be like 20 episodes long, and I feel like I think that's what kind of killed it. Although there were like some some good things on it, like some good filler episodes on it. Like Amy Adams was on the show, like season 2 or season 1, and she played this fat girl who like struggles, like who wants to be thin, basically. You know, everybody's telling her like, you don't need to like, you know, do this and that. You know, you look fine the way you are.
Yeah.
But then she's like, she was juicing. She was like making like there was like kryptonite in the soil of like the plants, like of like the carrots and spinach. So like it was causing her like to lose the weight. But then she became like a chupacabra, basically, where she would like need to consume like a lot of meat, a lot of fat, because she would get that craving. But it was a good show anyway. So, and then I had mentioned on our last episode that I got it as a gift because I can't say it, I'm not gonna say it again, pleading the fifth, but let's just say a burglar put season 1 of Smallville on my brother's PlayStation 3, and that's how I started watching it. That's how we obtained the copy. So I asked my dad, I'm like, Dad, I love the show. Can you get can you get me the DVD copies? And he got them for me for my birthday. So that's my Smallville story. And I've been, again, I've said before, I've been listening to their podcasts, their rewatch podcasts, where the actual leads are like remembering what happened and the things that happen on set, which I'm glad, because a lot of people, I'm not gonna call them out, but like side characters of popular TV shows,
yeah,
will do like rewatch of their shows, and I'm like, you were there for like 5 minutes. How are you gonna do like a whole hour-long podcast of you
right?
recalling you what happened?
So I feel about Viners, dude. Why do Viners act like they're retired like social media stars? I don't know, but I agree. It is a good show. I didn't know Amy Adams was in there, considering the fact that she is probably one of the best Lois Lanes ever to ever do it. So
Also,
sorry, go ahead.
hold on. I was gonna say, people are mad. They're like, oh, why are they replacing Henry Cavill? Why isn't Grant Gustin movie Flash? I was upset 2015 when my homeboy Tom Welling was not Superman when they made Man of Steel, because Smallville only had been off the air for like 3 years then. So there you go, boom, take it. So I'm like, listen here, British guy, fucking homie Tom Welling deserves it more than you.
Yeah, listen here, British guy. Okay, I agree, dude. I agree. Henry Cavill getting recasting isn't the end of the world. You were just over dramatic. And no fucking TV Flash isn't gonna be movie Flash. Get over it, you little fucking chumps. Like,
yeah, they act like this is the first time it's happened.
I know.
I got scars, dude.
Fucking idiots. Like, everyone's a Marvel fan, I swear. Ever since Far From Home, I feel like everyone in the comic book world's been more picky lately. I don't know. That's just me. It's another video to talk about right there too. Fuck, man. No, it's a good show. One thing I do want to segue, the only reason why I asked, because in the Flash show, in the Crisis of Infinite Earth, they go to the small world.
Yeah, it's not him. I don't know who. It's John Cryer, and he was not on the show.
So it was like, they fucking lied on that one.
So it's a different Lex.
And then, yeah, the different Lex, which I wanted to bring, is my next show, is 2.5 Men. And
2.5 Men.
2.5 Men, that's the fucking star, Charlie Sheen and John. That's my number 7. We're gonna segue to it there. Number 7, 2.5 Men. It's another fucking comedy show that I laugh at. I have it so high because of Charlie Sheen. Dude, I just watched Scary Movie 3. Have you seen that one? Not just for the first time, but like
Yeah,
just rewatched it.
I've seen it
It's
100
still
times.
good. I fuck with Sheen. And I know he did heavy drugs, but he got clean now, and it's funny to go back and watch 2.5 Men. Fuck Ashton Kutcher. Just doesn't do it for me. I never liked the 70s show, so I didn't like this one. But 2.5 Men is another classic. I think John Sider is a good fucking actor as Alan. A lot of good like people who, short names became big names after that one. Have you seen Due Date? If anyone's seen Due Date, in the end they go to 2.5 Men. That's not an actual episode, but they shot with Chuck Lorre and they put it in there. And basically, 2.5 Men is the fucking adult version of Big Bang Theory. Because if you know, you know. Like, the beef between those two, Chuck Lorre and Charlie Sheen, is real. So he basically just gave up 2.5 Men and made Big Bang Theory. But anyway, fucking hilarious show. There's a lot of episodes just like Simpsons, like a quote. That's just me though. That's just me. I know I'm probably like the only one that has this on my list.
Yeah. All right, my number 7 is How I Met Your Mother. Such a good show.
Good show.
Like, what I loved about this show is it had such good writing because it had 4 characters, and each of those 4 characters were unique to each other. And like when they did like, okay, it's gonna be a Ted and Barney episode.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, Ted and Barney gonna go pick up some girls. Okay, what's gonna be Ted and Marshall, where it's like, okay, these two longtime buddies are at it together. Okay, it's gonna be Ted, Marshall, and Lily, where it's like, yeah, it's these people who've known each other for a long time are getting into it. Or it's like Marshall and Barney is like, oh, Barney's getting Marshall in trouble, or Barney, Marshall, Lily. Or it's like, okay, something's good going on, where it's like Ted and Robin. Okay, it's either something like romantic or like something else is gonna go on. Or it's like Robin and Barney, where Robin and Barney are going to challenge each other. Such good writing.
Yep.
McLaren's is iconic. Bro Code, iconic.
Puzzles.
The playbook, it's hilarious.
Playbook, yeah. The playbook. I follow an Instagram page where it's like every day is a page from Barney Stinson's playbook, and it tells you how to execute it. Fucking hilarious, dude. One of the most iconic ones, the Naked Man. One works out of 1 out of 3. Fucking classic episodes. When also it's another show where it needs to be heartfelt. It is like when Marshall's dad dies. That was a really good one. When the funeral scene, not the funeral one, but when he's trying to watch a Vikings game in his grave. That's another good episode. But there's also fucking episodes that make me die of laughter.
Yeah.
Great show.
And then they'll have callbacks, or they'll have like jokes ongoing, like when Barney loses and he's got to wear the ducky tie. So like so the next episodes are him are wearing the ducky tie.
Like they follow through.
Yeah.
Whatever happens in the previous episode, they follow through. I agree. I agree. Good show. But
Or they make
sorry, go ahead.
or they make callbacks that will like set up to future episodes, like when Ted was at that bar and then he grabs the yellow umbrella, and then he'd be like, no, that's my umbrella. The mom, she was like, I left it at that bar. And then you'll see, like, when he picks up, he'll like start using it. He'll keep using it as the show goes on. Like that becomes a signature thing, is the yellow umbrella. And then when she mentions the yellow umbrella, then like they'll do callbacks. It's like, he used to here. This is when he first got it. This is like another time he used it there. And then the wedding episode where like Ted likes the mom, and then like Lily will run into her on the train, and like she'll bond with Lily, and then like Barney will try to hit on her, but Barney actually makes friends with her. She offers them some advice. So such a good show.
Great show.
Ending was kind of dumb, where Ted ends up with Robin, but I think Robin should have been the mom to begin with. Like they kind of set that up, but then they like pivoted.
It was weird. How I Met Your Father is stupid. I want that on record. They need the old characters to come bail them out. That's it's bad. I agree. The ending was kind of weird because all that just for her to die. And Justin from Wizard of Woodley Place was a dick the whole fucking time. So that's all I gotta say about that. Yeah, it was a good show though. That's another show I can go back and watch.
Number 6.
Number 6. Okay, so this is gonna be one of my first animation shows. It's probably my only animation show looking back at it now, or looking at my list. But it's gonna be the 1997 Spider-Man cartoon. This one was Far From Home before Far From Home was a real thing, and I think this is where people should start being picky. But you know what? This is a show why people shouldn't be picky. It's got everything. It's got the multiverse. It's got all the villains. It's got Morbius versus Blade. Like, what else do you guys want? Like, great show, great season, great storytelling. The animation's it's good for its time. The theme song is a bop. To me, it's just nostalgic. I really, really fuck with this show heavy compared to the other ones. And I was disappointed when there wasn't any reference to it. And I already could see this person commenting too. What about the Scarlet Spider? It kind of has the same animation. Well, it kind of doesn't. But, I don't know. They should have done something with it in the Spider-Verse. I was expecting them to. They didn't. So disappointing. But I could always go back to that show. And I usually watch it when it gets cold. That's when I'm like Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man for me because of Far From Home. When Far From Home was coming out, it was getting promoted when it was getting cold. So I would just go back and rewatch all Spider-Man. So I think that's what I'm going to just do now. It's fucking really good show. I really like that one.
Didn't he run into Daredevil one time?
Yeah, he ran into Daredevil, X-Men.
Yeah, because I remember that way back when I had started getting into comic books. I used to live like within walking distance to this huge library that at the time it had just opened up, and they had all these comic books. So that's how I got into X-Men. I would read some X-Men, and then they also had DVDs.
Yep.
And then they would have that animated series here's the 3-episode special of when Spider-Man runs into Daredevil, or when he runs into this character. So I would rent those and then watch those. So yeah, it was also sad he was not in Spider-Verse. Don't know why. We were missing the light blue, light green, shirt that he wears.
Yeah, dude, I agree with you. Even Iron Man and Captain America's fucking came out. X-Men, like we mentioned, Gambit, Nightcrawler. You got all those fucking people, and then they had their own shows too. And that was the fucking best part because there was an X-Men 1997 show, and it's like, oh shit, this is like a crossover. You don't even know it. I don't know, man. It's just it could have been so much more in the Spider-Verse, but they didn't. So it is what it is.
Was Unlimited part of that Spider-Man, or was that its own thing?
No, the show, or what do you mean?
Yeah, the show.
No, it was its own thing.
Okay, I thought it was a continuation, like a branch off.
No, it's its own thing.
All right. Number 6. My number 6 was also on Anthony's list. It's The Office US. Seen that show 15, 20 times. Back, in the peak Netflix days when it was on Netflix.
Yep.
I would just have that thing. I've seen that thing, I've watched it 10, 15 times, and then I would also put on the background. I'm if I had to do homework, I would put Office on the background. If I was doing anything else, put Office on the background. What I do is sometimes when I grind in video games and not doing any story thing wise, so I'm getting something or doing something, I'll put Office on the background. I've seen the Are You Still Watching Office parentheses US is burned into my skull. I mean, I've seen that show so many times. Again, great casting, because we've also seen what could have been. Seth Rogen auditioned for Dwight.
Yeah.
Adam Scott auditioned for Jim, but he would then get. But I'm glad they called him back for Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
And then Bob Odenkirk auditioned to play Michael, but I'm so glad we got also a homegirl. Can't think of Catherine Hahn Agatha. She auditioned to be Pam.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to see the universe where Bob Odenkirk is Michael, and then Seth Rogen is Dwight, and Adam Scott is Jim.
That'd been
I kind of want
perfect.
to see
Yeah,
that,
that'd be
but
funny.
Krasinski, perfect. Rainn Wilson, perfect. You know, oh, I can't. Oh, Michael Scott, amazing character. Love the show. So yeah, number 6. That's my number 6.
That's a good one. Here we are, we're getting to the top 5. Just the fucking serious ones. I'm gonna go a little quick here on these because it's just short and sweet. Number 5, and I'm pretty sure I'm the only one in this whole world that has this, but My Name is Earl. Fucking great show that doesn't need a laugh track. Great show. Every episode is a good one. It was about karma, which nowadays is like pretty cool. Even when he goes to prison, it has some banger ones. Joey Diaz comes out, Tim Nance. The Cops episode is really awesome. Crabman. I just love that show so much. I remember I watched it like when I was in 4th grade. Like still watch that show and laugh at it. They live in a hotel and they win the lottery. If you guys don't know, it's like a criminal who's turning his life around, and he has a list of all the bad things he's done. And one by one, each episode is like him trying to make up for it. Funny episodes, even when it needs to be heartfelt, it is. You gotta love it. I mean, My Name is Earl. I might watch that tonight. Honestly, really good show, and it ended off so bad because it got canceled. So it got left off on a cliffhanger, and that's the way it ends because it got canceled. So I wish I would have known that, so I never would have seen that episode. Just like one of these shows that I have on my list where I would never finished it because of Brunner. He's warned me. Thank you, Brunner. We'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah, that's My Name is Earl, number 5.
My number 5 is Seinfeld. I love Seinfeld so much. In my household, like my dad, that's his number 1 show, and then got my brother hooked into it. And then I remember watching Seinfeld like young enough not to understand the jokes, and then as I grew up, I got the jokes. I remember when I was younger, I never understood. I watched the episode, The Contest. I never understood it. And then when I got older, I was like, oh, that's what it is. But another great cast, Michael Richards, his like physical performance comedy is so good. And then the writing on that show, the first 7 seasons, so good. Last 2 seasons kind of stunk, but that, of course, that's when Larry David left. But like, and then Jerry Stiller as Frank Costanza, where he's like always yelling, like him and his wife are always getting to arguments. I'm like, yeah, that hits home, because we all have those people in our lives, those older couples in our lives who are always fighting with each other.
Yeah.
Such a good show. So many funny ideas. But that's my number 5.
Good one. Yeah, that is a good one. I think you have like a card game, no? Or that's Office. He has an Office board game. I want that on record.
Oh, it was Office board game. Yeah, my brother bought it. Yeah, a long time ago. I think we threw it out.
Oh man,
But I'm crying.
that sucks.
Yeah, when we moved for like the fucking first time.
Number 4, this is a show that Bruno warned me that I've never seen the ending because I heard it's bad. It's Silicon Valley. HBO Silicon Valley. Hilarious tech show where it's another one that doesn't need a laugh track. It's so satisfying to see a small company grow to a big one. And with all the jokes and the comedians it produced, Gabe from The Office comes out, and I think he's like way better in this one. Pied Piper's amazing. Even Gavin Nelson's probably one of the funniest villains in TV history, in my opinion. I just love it. I've never seen the ending because of what Brewers told me, so every time it gets to that point, I just rewatch it. And to me, it's just satisfying to see, like I mentioned earlier, from a small company, it's like every episode they're struggling about something and something and something. And meanwhile, Big Head gets lucky and everything just fall. He successfully fails. That's the best way to. So they show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like all these top 5s I can go back and rewatch. I know I keep repeating it, but it's true. It's true. It's what I do.
Yeah, I love Richard Hendricks is so funny. Uh, Jin Yang, hilarious, such a hilarious side
Yeah.
character, and I love what you called
Guilfoyle.
Guilfoyle. Guilfoyle's competition with what's his name?
What is his name?
I'm pull it up. I'm sorry, fake fans over here.
Dinesh? No, Dinesh.
Dinesh.
There you go. Fake fans. We are fake fans. Edit that out. Dinesh. There you go.
Yeah, Dinesh. Like their rivalry is so good. And then also key thing, for those who don't know, at the beginning, when they do that, their like little intro, their little theme song, and then you see it like Silicon Valley, is that each season it changes. Like it'll be like here's a small company, and then like big, and then like it grows into a big company. Or like I remember how for like they did Uber and Lyft.
Wow.
They were like these two balloons, and then like they kept butting into each other, and then eventually like Uber won. So now it's like Uber's just its own big thing now. And then you'll see like if Silicon Valley was going now, like there'd be like Twitter headquarters, and now it's just like X, like you know what I mean? So it evolves with current Silicon Valley.
Yep.
How it is in the real world. So I love that.
Yeah, it was really
Such a good show.
really good. And then, like even when new companies were coming up, it would even show it. When Amazon fully took over and it got larger. Great show, man. Like I'm telling you, Jing Yang is it's iconic. It's number 4.
Erlich Bachman, so good. My number 4, had to put it on there because it's such a good show. It's obvious pick, but I catch myself watching this many times when I'm bored, but so good. Breaking Bad.
Yep.
Very good writing. Bryan Cranston knocks it out of the park. And I also, I've people have pointed out on social media, and I kind of agree with it, how they're like, season 1 of Breaking Bad was like kind of comedic at some points.
Yeah.
More than like it's serious. Like, cause like a special, like the Jesse and Walter, where it's like, all right, we're going to take it and then drive it. We're going to park it at your house. He's like, no, man, not my house.
Yeah.
Or when Jesse comes to Walter's house and he's like, what, you wearing a wire? And then like he's pushing him around and stuff. He's like, no, man, gross, get off of me. So I'm like, yeah, because, early seasons, they kind of didn't know what they're doing, but then it became like the serious drama juggernaut it is. And, Ozymandias, the episode where Hank dies, is rated like 100%. It's like the highest rated TV episode of all time. Such a good show. You get to see, what Walter becomes, what he evolves to. And again, great casting by everybody. Heel, shout out Heel.
Shout out Heel fans over here.
Yeah, Heel fans over here. But everybody knocked it out of the park, especially Bob Odenkirk as Saul. But that's my number 4. Also, wanted to say why I love the show as well is that, again, it's kind of like a Silicon Valley thing, where at the end, like Walter kind of turns it around. You're like, everything's going good. It's like me watching episode 3 of Star Wars, thinking, like Anakin's not going to turn into Darth Vader, but then he turns into Darth Vader. It's just like me watching it, thinking like a different output's going to happen, but it's the same thing, and it's always good. Because I'm like, okay, Gus is gone, Walter's doing his own thing, and then Hank finds out on the toilet.
So good. Yeah, I agree. I'm not gonna get into it for later reasons, but definitely a great show. One of the best. I will say my last 3 are all AMC. So, that's another one where every actor, I think, fucking is amazing. And let's get into it. Number 3 is Walking Dead for me. It's competitor. Breaking Bad's competitor on Sundays for a while. I know. Glenn died, I stopped watching. Glenn died, I stopped watching. But you had those, if Daryl dies, we riot cups and shirts too. So people should just give it another chance. my favorite ones are like season 1 to like 5 maybe, and then I'll just rewind it. But I just gave it a chance one day, and I actually finished it. It's not that bad. It's pretty good if you like zombies. It's a zombie show. The characters for me is what really sets it. Just the seriousness, how it just gets worse and worse, and then towards the end you kind of build a community, but then it gets worse, and so it's just I like that. I really like the realism. The farm scene is humbling. The prison season for me will always be iconic, and the best top tier Walking Dead is prison. So just watching that alone, just them trying to take back the prison still scares me when the alarm's going off. And T Dog dies and Lori dies. That one, ugh. And that's the reason why I have it so high, just because of the seriousness and because how badass it is, and how bad we really wanted the Rick Grimes skin in Fortnite too. Another reason. But yeah, number 3, Walking Dead.
My number 3 is Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Let's go.
I've been rewatching the show lately. So good. I love Larry David. It's like the things that he gets involved in are like so ridiculous. Like there's one episode where his best friend's mom dies, and like she had a heart attack like on the side of the road, so they put up one of those like memorials like on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And so like he needs to get flowers, but like he doesn't have time, so he takes the flowers from the memorial and then gives it to him, and then he gets caught. Or like when another one from this last season is that his shoes get ruined and he goes to a Holocaust museum. So what he decides to do is he takes the shoes from the Holocaust museum, from like the dead Jewish people. It's
Oh my god.
It's like, it's so ridiculous. Like it's so funny, and it like kind of hurts me because I'm like, no, Larry, come on, like you're like winning, and like he'll like fuck things up by his big mouth, and I'm like, thanks, Larry, come on. But Curb Your Enthusiasm, such a good show.
Yeah, no, it's up there. I knew that was coming when I heard Seinfeld. Seinfeld, the fuck. Great show. I see a lot of Instagram reels about it. One of the episodes I watched, it's pretty funny because Brunner told me, was when he puts on the Trump hat and everybody just avoids him. That's another one that's good, like Sushi Bar and the motorcycle. Great show, great actors, great writers. Good one. I really don't blame them. I gotta check that out fully. It's another HBO show. That's good. Yeah, that's good. That's good. For my number 2, and Brandon mentioned it, kind of teased it. Better Call Saul. Great serious show. When the beginning, it kind of is slow, but I like it because it's like, it's Jimmy. It's just Jimmy just being Jimmy McGill, trying to be a lawyer, trying to impress his brother. By the end, he saw good men, the con men who had got Hank killed, really in the end. And everyone's gonna praise Bob Odenkirk for this performance, which everyone should. But you gotta give fucking Rhea Seehorn, Jonathan Banks, Patrick Fabian fucking credit for Howard, Mommy Kim, fucking. we gotta, dude. Everyone was a fucking Kim Wexler fan by the end of the show. Everyone was rooting for Kim in the end, and I've never seen that happen. When Kim met, when Kim met Jesse, that was like fucking No Way Home. That crowd, if there was a crowd reaction, No Way Home, Tobey Maguire coming out would have been the reaction to Kim meeting Jesse. Like that was a fucking like mind blowing scene. The fucking ending is sad. And in the end, you really get the perspective of all the 3 main accomplices, like good ending, neutral ending, and bad ending. And I would say he got the bad ending, of course, because he actually has to spend time in prison. Walt got the neutral because he lost everything and he died, but he got his revenge. And then good would be Jesse because he's free and he has a second chance. So you really see that in different perspective and different color too. Like his is white because it's bad, and Jesse has color in his, and it's fucking good. It's a good show. When there's a lot of emotional. That fucking final season is just a heart wrenching fucking show. Go watch people's reactions to that fucking season ending, like the whole season. Howard's like, I'm not gonna spoil it, but just watch it. Good show. People think it's too slow, but I don't give a fuck. I think it's really good.
Well, I'm going to spoil it, so spoilers. But they made, I just want to say, like, Lalo Salamanca, such a good character. He's such a good villain. I think he's better than, I think he's maybe a little better than Tuco, but Tuco's like still crazy. He's like that wild card, like you don't know what he's going to do. But like Lalo is like Tuco, but like it's like, what if Tuco was like had a brain? You know what I mean? It was like, well, was more calculated. Nacho, I think he's such a good character, and it was very
Nacho's
sad
death was sad.
at the end when he's hiding out, and then he calls his dad. And he's like, "Love you, Dad." He's like, "Love you too, son. I'll see you soon." Oh, and then I was shocked that we got to see Marie at the end. And then I was like so upset because like very like the the meme of like every time like the Sigma the down 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 music, you know what I mean, I'm talking about, where it's like where Saul is like debating, he's like, oh, I'm gonna get like 99 years, well actually this and that, and then they're like, looks like you're gonna get probation, you know what I mean, and then he's like, no, I was the one who did it. I laundered Walt's money. And I'm like, no. And I'm like doing that Skyler, like, shut up, shut
literally, dude.
up. Because he had to do it for Kim. Because like it was such a burden over Kim's head that she knew all this. And like of like keeping Hamlin's death, a secret. And oh my god!
Hamlin's
and then
death.
I'm still pissed that fucking Carol Burnett is the one who outed fucking Saul, fucking the old lady.
We
I was like, that's how you're going. I'm like, I'm like, that's how you're going out, is like being caught in the dumpster because the old lady ratted out, ratted you out.
Where's Bruce? Okay, cat's like breaking the window. Hold on. Yeah, I know. Crazy.
And then the detail of like of Jimmy's post Breaking Bad world, Saul's post Breaking Bad world is black and white, and then in the final episodes, the one time that there's color is that when we see her laptop and the reflection of his glasses, it's a Better Call Saul commercial, and that's the only bit of color we see in his world. Such a good detail.
Very iconic. Yeah, which leads me to my number one, but we'll go to that and we'll get to that. Brunner, number two.
Yeah. My number two, I think it's technically my second animated one, but my first animated American one is Archer. Archer is such a good show. It's like, it's espionage. It's American espionage. The character of Archer is so good. He's so funny. He's drunk and he's a bullet sponge, and he's always cracking jokes. And like each of the characters are unique. Krieger and Lana and Pam and Ray and all these callbacks. Such a good show. Even Mallory as well. Long-lasting show. Like, I rewatched that show recently. I got caught up to it. Still so good. Like, the jokes are still funny. Not as funny as they were back then, but I still get a laugh or two in each episode. And I love to see like what's going on with the story. And I just love Archer. I even love the animation design, and it's like 1960s, like still 1960s fashion, but it's it's today. Like there's still modern technology, but like like Lana dresses like in a very 1960s styles dress with like a huge white belt, and then Archer's like very 1940s 1950s style suit. It's such a good show.
Yeah, that's another show that's been going on for a minute, because I would always see the commercials come on after the football games. The actor I know also does Bob's Burgers, right?
Yeah, he does, and it's the same voice, and they even made fun of that Family Guy. He's like, this is my impression of Archer. Hi, I'm Archer from Archer. All right, this is my impression of Bob from Bob's Burgers. Hi, I'm Bob from Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of too. I was about to quote that, but yeah, that's another good show that's been on. I think that's on FX, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
and
FX.
Hulu. So you guys should check that out. It's a really good one. I've seen some episodes. Whew, which I kind of was surprised because I think you said your only animation. Well, I think that was me. I don't know. But hey, that's number
Yeah.
two. It's number two. But my number one, here we go. No surprise here, is I was talking about earlier, Breaking Bad. The fucking best show ever because just because of how long I refused to watch it before I actually gave in and watched it, and it was so satisfying because I went in with no hope, thinking it was gonna be overrated, and I went in thinking, wow, like fuck this show, and I went out thinking I gotta rewatch it again and again and again, and now everyone I talk to, I'm like, Breaking Bad, you gotta watch Breaking Bad. I don't know what I like more, seeing Walt go from from good to evil, or Saul in Better Call Saul. I think in this one, Walt's, he doesn't redeem himself really. He does lose his family. His son, he dies with his son hating him. So it's like it's kind of real, and I think I like that. It's just like how much he could have walked out with it, a free man, but how much he got addicted to it, which led him to his fucking downfall, is what really gets me. Like, wow, he didn't want to leave money. He just wanted to be the kingpin because he liked it, because he never felt it before. He lost his company and he's finally on top. Phenomenal show. I just wish I was there to watch it, like on every Sunday, where it's like, oh shit, I gotta wait till next Sunday. Brunner, shout out Brunner. He is like the true AMC lord. He did the same thing with Better Call Saul. Even though he knew it came out first on streaming services, he still watched it on AMC. That's a real trooper right there. So yeah, I wish I did that with Breaking Bad, but fuck, man. I should have brought my Hank hat. I have the Hank hat with the Hank beer. It's like this. It's fucking hilarious, dude. I gotta buy me a case of that beer.
Yeah, I still remember Anthony, like, not watching it. He's like, and I'm telling him, like, you should watch, Breaking Bad. And he's like, oh, I've been watching Better Call Saul. I've been watching a couple of episodes of Better Call Saul. It's kind of slow. And I'm like, no, dude, just jump into it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm on the final season. I'm like, okay, once that's over, go, like right after, go watch El Camino.
Right after.
And then you're like, yeah, right after. Because I'm like, it picks up right after. Breaking Bad's such a good show. Very good show. Yeah. All right. So number one. My number one is going to be It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Kind of the spiritual successor to Seinfeld in the way, like, it's a show about nothing.
Yeah.
Friends who own a bar, like, just doing like weird random stuff. So many good jokes on that show, so many callbacks, very good. And I always reference that show a while. When we were doing the Hot Wings episode, I put a joke in the episode where Charlie says, like, oh, I've never eaten a blueberry before. He's like, never eaten a strawberry, never even eaten a pear.
Yes.
And then that was like sort of like Anthony's true reaction when I told him I've never eaten a burrito or I've never eaten a hot wing. And I've been rewatching their podcasts, and like how I remember what they said is that one of the writers in the room said, like, I've never eaten an actual blueberry.
What the fuck?
And then so, like, they kind of like, like, okay, let's go forward with this. And then that's how that joke was made. But always quoting that show. And I love Danny DeVito. I think he was, they when they did season one, like, it was still good. But, the network told him, like, we want you to get like a big name actor to be like either recurring or a guest recurring. And then they thought about Ray Liotta, but they settled on Danny DeVito, whose kids told him, like, Dad, it's a really good show, you should do it. And then so many like memes. If you haven't seen the show, you've probably seen like the memes on the internet, like the "Oops, I dropped my condom with my Magnum dong," meme.
Yeah.
I dropped my monster condom with my Magnum dong. Like, those characters are so funny on just like how just those characters, like Dennis is the extreme sociopath, serial killer tendencies, or like, and then like they'll not like care about people, and they'll be like, are we still doing that thing? is that thing going on? We're like, we kind of forgot about that. Just so funny. But I love that show so much. 17 seasons. I hope 17 more, hopefully. And just, I
Still
love
going
that
too,
show.
right?
Yeah, still
Yeah,
going.
that's a funny show. Yeah, they go for the Eagles, so fuck yeah, love that show.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
All right.
that's I think
Anything else you want to
I'm
add?
trying to think.
Any take backs?
No, I'm trying to think, but I think I'm good. Let us know what you think. Again, this is our opinions. Don't hate. It's personal opinions, and I'm glad we didn't put a movie in there in the end, like last time when we fucking did a top 10. What was it, top 10 like musical or top 5 musicals that were real? And one of our blank old hosts put a fucking movie that wasn't even real. Whiplash. Anyway,
Yeah.
I had to throw that in there. I don't know. First thing I think of when we think of lists is always that moment when you said that. All right. Anyway, let us know what you think in the comments below. Anything else, Brunner?
No, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the socials. Check out the edits. Instagram at GameChatPod. Everywhere else, GameChatPod _. Thank you so much for watching. Comment down below. We'll give you a shout out. And we'll see you in the next one.